is time for our Monday motivation. It is Monday morning and we are getting ready to get started through the week. Drop a comment and let us know you're here this morning. Blessings to you, Tisha. Good morning, Ogboato. Asore Wori Wofun. Reverend Rhonda. Blessings and more blessings to you, Honey Oshunwemi Mogbato. Asore Wori Wofun. Omomi Rosie. Blessings to you. Eka roya dira boato asori wori wofun. Give thanks. We are ready to get started throughout the week. Yes, King Temperance, blessings to you. Glad to have you this morning. Ayo, good morning, Eka ro. We ready? Hey, we ready? Hey, we ready? Listen, it is Monday morning, and you know what I always say? If you are listening to the sound of my voice, I need you to be happy, glad in your spirit. I need you to give thanks because that means that you, guess what you did? You have made it into another week. And another chance to continue walking towards your destiny. It is me, your favorite scholar priestess, Iya Funlayo, PhD, and you are warmly welcome to Monday mornings. Good morning, Mikava. Omishewa, blessings to you. Asia, good morning. Blessings and more blessings to you. We are thankful. We are happy. We are glad in our spirits to be back together again on this Monday. Kashia Ekaro, blessings. Listen, there's some folks who didn't make it into the week with us, and we send loving light and elevation to anyone who did not make it into this week with us, and we give gratitude. Ifa says that gratitude is the thing that separates humans from other creatures. It said that all of the creatures were asked if they would be thankful for the things that they receive on the earth, for the food, for the shelter, for all of the blessings that they receive, and everyone refused except for human beings. And so that we have the special duty. It's our duty to be grateful. It's our duty to recognize our blessings. It's our duty to fight for our freedom. Rest in peace to our dear sister and mother, Assata Shakur. May she rise in power. Yes, it is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We have nothing to lose but our chains. There is nothing to lose but the chains. So we getting free. That's what we love to do when we come together each and every Monday morning. And on Sundays, blessings, Chris, Ogboato, Tisha, yes, Astrid, good to see you. We are thankful to be together. You already know how we get started on Mondays is by giving honor to our sacred selves. We know that Ifa tells us, Ifa be keeping it so real. That's one of the reasons why I love it. I don't know why y'all love it, but one of the reasons I love Ifa is because Ifa keeps it so real. Ifa says that, and says it very explicitly and plainly. We would rather throw all these shrines on the floor, fisile, throw it on the floor, than to throw our heads on the floor. We would rather throw away every single shrine that we have than to ever throw our heads away. That's one of the first Ifa verses or proverbs that I learned, and it just has stuck with me so deeply, because no matter what happens, if you ain't got no good head, it don't matter how many 50-11 shrines you got. It don't matter how many ancestors is around you. It don't matter how much of whatever. If the head ain't right, then none of that can impact. So we give thanks and we pray each and every day for a good head that leads us well. We pray each and every day for good intuition. Touch that gut. Good intuition where we really feel into the things that are for us and are not for us. And we trust. Here's the big part. Trust the feelings. Because a lot of times we be feeling stuff and we don't trust it. We second guess. We say, I'm being paranoid. I'm being anxious. I'm being, right? And we talk ourselves out of the discernment that worry of the gut gives us. Don't do that. Not this week. We're not going to do that this week. Okay? We are going to trust the intuition. And of course, we give thanks for the feet that carry us to the places that we need to go, because we can think it and feel it all day. But if we don't do it, Adeshina, Ekaro, if we don't do it, if we just think it and feel it, Terry, but if we don't do it, then we will not be making it to where we're trying to make it to. Natasha, Guato, blessings to you. Listen, all right? So go ahead and touch your precious Ori as we say our chants from Otura Obe. Deep breath. Kajini kutu kutu. Kamomo huni pinko pin. Difafuno lomo ajibare. Pade lola. Emi ni mojini kutu kutu timo mu ohun ni pinko pin. Emi ni mo ba aje ati ire lo ni ati lola. Emi ni mojini kutu kutu timo mu ohun ni pinko pin. Emi ni mo ba aje ati okiki ire lo ni ati lola. Asheo, asheo, asheo. So, if you've been here before, you know that means that when we do what? When we wake up early in the morning, in the kutu kutu, when we wake up early in the morning and we give honor to our destiny, it is people who do that. It's simple. Give honor to your destiny. Mind the business that pays you. It is the ones who do that who will meet with good things not only today, but also tomorrow. It says, Emini, I am the one who wakes up early in the morning and gives honor to my destiny. And therefore, I am the one who's going to meet with all manners of health, of wealth, of happiness, of every good thing, of the recognition for my good deeds, not only today, but also tomorrow. Lola, we give thanks for the work that we do today that continues to reverberate into tomorrow. The work that we did yesterday is still reverberating today, and we give thanks for that. Blessings, Ifashina, Lafiani. I seen you looking all fly at the Oshun Festival yesterday. Shout out to Atlanta. Saw that there was a beautiful, beautiful Oshun Festival yesterday. I did that. It was lovely. I could feel the vibes through the screen. We give thanks for all of the different communities around the country and around the world who are giving honor to our divinities. I seen you. Who are giving honor to our divinities, who are keeping our traditions alive. Listen, one of the things that is so important for us to talk about and stop doing is stop trying to treat Orisha, stop trying to treat spirit like it's a club or some kind of exclusive place that only certain people can go. I need us to stop doing that. And if you run across anybody who's doing that, and trust me, you will, please let them know that Iya Funlayo said to stop it, okay? God is for everybody. I don't know how much, God is for everybody. And the Orisha are aspects of God. So they are, guess who they're for? Everybody. Stop it, right? This is not a club. This is not a clique. That makes me, it aggravates me so much, because this whole idea that somehow God and aspects of God are not for everybody. Now, does everybody need to get initiated? No. Is everybody going to be a priest or a priestess? No. Right? Is everybody going to be a diviner and be doing shrine work? No. But does everybody have Ori, Darius? You already had the answer. Yes. Does everybody have Oya in their lungs when we breathe in and out? Yes. Does everybody have Oshun and Ogun running through their blood? Yes. Does everybody have that heart that beats like Ogun in their chest? Yes. Right? I had to say that because it drives me nuts. And I hear people say stuff like that all the time. Fear mongering, trying to act like Orisha and like God is a club. This ain't a club. Or if it is a club, it's the biggest, most open, wide club in the world. Like, we here for everybody. We want all of our people to rise up. We want all of our people to feel good. We want all of our people to be free of, all of the things that we getting free of up in here. Coco, good morning. Blessings to you. Listen, I know the gatekeepers are enabled a lot of the time because I get that people like to feel special. And it's important to note that other people being special don't take away your specialness. We all special, right? There's something special about each and every one of us. And so I just had to say that this morning because I see that happening a lot. And one of the things that I felt was so beautiful when I saw the footage from the Oshun Festival that just happened is that I saw people from different houses. It was big. There was lots of people there. It was beautiful. And we need more of that. We need more of it. We need more of the community coming together. We need more of us doing this work, not less. Yeah, listen, I can't handle everybody, okay? So more and more of us need to be doing this work, and it makes me happy. It makes my spirit glad when I see it. Thankful. Jaquila, Ogboato, Asori Wori Wofuni, Fafumike, Omomi, blessings, Ogboato. Good to have you, Brother John from the Boogie Down Bronx in the building with us today. Give thanks. So you know already what I'm going to tell you if you wasn't with us on yesterday. Go on ahead, holler back at the replay. You already know the story was storying. Okay, we was up in there laughing and having a good time as we do, even as we discuss those serious topics. But very briefly, we told the story of Ogun yesterday. And it's actually a classic story of Ogun, and it's one of our favorites, the origin stories that talk about how Ogun came to inhabit iron, how the spirit of Ogun, how the spirit of Ogun got to be inhabited in iron. And it said that there was a time that when the earth was freshly created, it was fresh, right? It was fresh. It just got started. All of the Orisha were trying to help clear parts of the land so that humans would have place to live. And they were trying all their different tools. Shango tried his stone axe. Osine tried his little plant cutting knife. And all of the different Orisha tried their tools. Even Olokun contributed some coral from the sea to try to make tools to cut the trees down and to level the land, and none of them were working well because none of them were as strong as they needed them to be, and eventually they all broke. And so Ogun was the only one who hadn't come to try his tool, and so Abatala sends everybody in search of Ogun, and they find him, and they find, of course, that he has iron, and that he provides the iron tools which do the job that they need them to do. And unfortunately, even though Ogun helped, even though Ogun did his part, people still ended up ultimately having a problem with Ogun because he was dirty, because the forge was loud, and all of these different complaints that they had. And so when people began to complain, he went up, he said, you know what, y'all complain too much. I ain't feeling it, and I'm going to go on out, and I'm going to go on and get up out of here. And so he went into the forest, and he told them that he would leave his spirit, that his spirit will remain inhabited in the iron that they were using, and that anytime they would bang two pieces of iron together, that would be the way to call him, two pieces of metal. That would be the way to call him. Ashe. So we give thanks for that story. And it definitely has some sadness to it, right? That story has some sadness to it. because the story reminds us that no matter how much we do, listen, and this, I didn't say this like this yesterday. You know, I always like to give you a little something more. Two things that I didn't say yesterday. No matter how much we do, it's not going to make people feel a different way about us. I'm going to say that again, because I think sometimes we don't get this. Doesn't matter what we do. People going to feel how they feel about us. They might take whatever we're giving them, right? They might appreciate whatever it is that we're doing for them. But at the end of the day, whatever feelings they had about us are the same feelings they're going to have about us at the end, right? And so it's this one of these things that says, don't delude ourselves. We can't delude ourselves into thinking that just because people appreciate what we do for them, that they love us, or that their feelings for us have changed if they've already expressed a certain feeling. And that's important to know, because many times in the quest for love, in the quest for acceptance, in the quest to be seen a certain way, we may do and give and do and give and do and give and do and give, thinking that is going to change how people feel about us, thinking that is going to make people love us, right? And Ogun, remember, I always say all the time, Ogun's a lover boy. Don't get it twisted. Ogun rules the heart for a reason. Ogun is about love and togetherness, and that is always the tension. That is always the tension with Ogun, is that he is so connected to togetherness, and at the same time he represents that human tension. Remember, all of our Orisha represent archetypes, and so one of the things he represents is the very real tension that we all face between being accepted and also feeling separate from other people, right? Because no matter how close we get to anybody, no matter how close we get, there's always that little place inside of ourselves that only we can touch and that only we know about. And so I say this all to say, don't overextend yourself, right? Don't put yourself out thinking that that's going to win favors, or thinking that that's going to win love. It's going to win people that want what you're doing for them, right? It's going to win people that appreciate it, hopefully appreciate, sometimes don't even appreciate, right, what you're doing, but it's not going to change how they feel and how they treat you. And we see that in the story, because the reason why they had to go looking for Ogun in the first place, right, is because he was out in the woods because he had already been mistreated once. Right? The people had already mistreated him and told him he was too loud and he was too dirty and he was too brash and he wasn't, his clothes wasn't nice enough and he wasn't genteel enough with them. He was too rude. He was too this, right? So they had already expressed those things. And that's why he was in the woods in the first place. So that's a really important lesson. That's a really important lesson. Io says, facts, you're speaking to me right now. The people-pleasing tendencies are strong, especially in this world that tells us we aren't worthy if we aren't sacrificing ourselves. Ooh, come on. That's important, right? This world absolutely does tell us this. We talked about this in the Akeko circle yesterday. Shout out to the Akekos, right? And that we, especially under this capitalist system, literally the only value that we're told we have is in the labor that we can do for others, the labor that our bodies can do, the labor that our minds can do, labor, right? That's all of it. And so part of getting free is letting go of that idea. Part of getting free is to let go of thinking that we have to do more and more and more and more to earn our right to live. Because we're literally taught that you have to work to earn your place on the planet. That's not true, obviously, but that's what this system that we're living under trains us into believing. And so part of getting free is letting go of that and knowing that we are worthy even when we're not working. Yes, we know our topic and our mantra is that our work has worth, and it does. Absolutely. Our work has worth, and we could drop that into the chat to reclaim that. Our work absolutely has worth. Ogun's work has worth, but he also has worthiness beyond the work. And so do you. Natasha said, some folks like to do for them and not the who for them. Ooh, ask me how I know. May Ori continue to lead us and guide us. I like that. The do and not the who. So they just want what they want. It don't matter who do it. Look, when people are seeking to get their needs met, in many cases, it doesn't matter the who, right? They just care that it's done, whatever they want done is done. And so once we recognize that, we have an easier time pulling back and saying, oh no, get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it, because all you really care about is that it's done. You don't care that it's me doing it. You don't appreciate, you don't want me specifically to do it. Get somebody else to do it, right? That's when we start saying that and moving ourselves, yes, Astrid, out of this grind culture that we have been trained into. Cashapp says, Ogun is that new innovator energy that comes with different energy. It's hard to conform. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is one of the things that Ogun teaches us, is that when you are an innovator, when you are doing anything new, when you are setting a new standard, when you are setting a new bar, when you are leading movements, when you are doing these things, listen, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. And in fact, one of the things that's so important is not conforming. When that's your when your lane is to be the innovator, your very purpose is to do the things that people haven't done before. You can't conform, because then you're literally avoiding and foregoing your destiny, right? If your destiny is to innovate, you have to be out there alone. And so that is a part of that Ogun energy. Terry says, I posted last week that you don't need to do more. You need to be more like you. Teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. Yes, indeed. That is such a true statement. I love that. Thank you. Teach people how to treat you. By how you treat yourself, how you honor yourself, how you honor your own boundaries, how you value your work. Yes, Rhonda, Tisha, Sapphire, honey, our work has worth. So how do you value your work? Remember, I always say you got to be your own biggest fan. If you don't think what you do is the best, how somebody else gonna think is the best? Right? It's not being braggadocious, although a little braggadocious, ain't nothing wrong with a little braggadocious. But it is being real, and it is being motivational to yourself to make sure that you love and value the things that you do, and love and value and appreciate your own work. That's the first step before we worry about anybody else. Chris says, when you retreat to pour into yourself, it's perceived as being selfish. My work on myself is my most important work. Ashe, 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 ashe. That's another lesson. I'm glad you said that, because that's the second thing I was going to say from this story that we didn't talk about yesterday. When things aren't going a way that you want them to go, guess what the most powerful thing that you can do is? Remove yourself from the situation. Right? Ogun didn't stay and fight with the people. He didn't stay and argue with the people. He didn't try to convince them of nothing. He said, I'm going to go on ahead and get out of here. And y'all can still be connected to me. This is the part that I love. Listen to the lesson. This is why I love you, Fa. Listen to the lesson. Ogun said, look, I still got love for y'all. Here's the part. This is the spirit. This is the spirit part, right? I still got love for you. I still got love for you. And I'm going to even let you keep the thing that I gave you that was helpful. Even though you're not treating me right, I'm going to let you keep that. I'm going to let you have that, right? I'm going to let you keep that. I'm going to let you have that. But I am out. Right? I'm not going to stay around to be mistreated. I'm not going to stay around to be treated in a way other than I desire to. I'm not going to stay around to feel undervalued. I don't have to hate you. I don't have to completely shut down and act like you never existed. But what I am going to do is go and care for myself. I am going to retreat to the forest, to my pot of medicine, right? And do my thing and later for y'all, right? But again, it's like, I ain't got to hate you. I don't have to completely disconnect from everyone and everything forever. But I can separate myself. Yes, Terry, boundaries, protecting your head and your peace, right? Because it is not selfish to care for yourself at all. It is not selfish to care for yourself at all. As Audre Lorde said, self-care is an act of is revolutionary, right? It is. It's not selfish. I must do that. Right? I must do that. I must care for me. I must show love to me, because if I don't, who else is going to? If I don't do it, if I don't show people I love that, how to treat me, if they don't see me treating myself, well, I learned this with a partner. I'm going to tell you, this is a story. I learned this watching a former partner who I felt was, I was seeking more tenderness, right, from this person, more gentleness, more, a certain type of energy from them. And one day, I'm going to tell you, it's the littlest things that sometimes you observe in a person that lets you know bigger things. I observed this person put on lotion. Very innocuous thing, right? Take a shower, you put some lotion on. And I watched the way that they touched their own body. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I watched the way that they touched their own body. And I sat there and I watched it and I said, oh, okay. Now I see why this person can't be as tender to me, right, as I want them to be, or may not be touching me or giving me the type of energy that I'm desiring, because they don't even have that energy for themselves, right? I'm looking for, a certain type of mindful tenderness. And as I watch them touch their own body, in a moment that for me, when I put my creams and lotions on, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to be like, oh yes, I'm smooth. I'm feeling good, right? There's a certain reverence and there's a certain moment that I take with my own, self-care. And so sometimes, right, and this is one of the reminders that came from Ogun before, that I've posted before. It says, we be asking people to do things that we know they're not capable of. We're asking people to do things that are outside of who they are, that are outside of what their energy even is. And then we wonder why they can't do it. Right? And it's like you can't get people to be different than who they are. And in that instance, I was asking for something that the person really didn't even have it in them to give, because they didn't even have it in them to give it to themselves. Right? And so this is the place where, thinking about self-care, watching how people care for themselves, watching how people relate to themselves, watching how people pour into themselves or not, that's going to give a big clue into how they're going to treat you. And so it is very, very, very important to watch those things, right? And to learn from them and know that they're connected to each other. Know that it's not disconnected. The way that somebody engages with themselves is very big on how they're going to engage you, right? And how they're going to be able to care for you. And so retreat. If you're not being treated, so what did I do in that situation? I retreated. I said, oh, it's become clear to me, right, that you're not going to be able to do what I need you to do or treat me the way I desire to be treated. And so now I have to retreat. Am I going to try to change you and make you know? Because again, you're not even giving that to yourself. So how can I expect you to give it to me? So the only thing that I can do, right, is retreat and say, okay, I got to go find it somewhere else. So learning that lesson from Ogun, retreating, having those boundaries. Yes, Ifashina, protecting your peace by enacting boundaries is one of Ogun's treasures. Yes, so Ogun's son, y'all heard Ogun's son tell us, listen, protect your peace. That is one of Ogun's treasures. Chris says, this story resonates with me deeply as an Aquarius, quirky, innovative humanitarians who choose to be alone because people frequently disappoint. Oh, yes. The Aquarians, I got an Aquarian moon, so I'm right on that frequency with y'all, and I understand. My mama's an Aquarian too. Shout out to Reverend Regina this morning, right? The innovators, absolutely. The ones who want to help. That's the thing, right? We innovate and have that heart to help others, and so it's not always easy. It's not an easy place to be, but we give thanks. We give thanks for the help that we get from the divine to do the work that we are called to do in this world, because our work has worth. Ashe, 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 ashe. Yes, I'll retreat to the darkness to nurture the light within. I love that. I love that. And we love these archetypes. I shout out to all of my tarot students. Love the archetypes of the tarot for this, because they connect into all these different energies. They, highlight all of these different aspects, which is why they have resonated with so many people for so long. And so it is very, very important, right, that we do retreat and nurture ourselves. And again, recognize when we are not being treated the way we want to be treated. Recognize that just because we're doing for people is not going to change that, right? And know that we have to do for, love, and care for ourselves to begin with. That's the first place to start, nurturing that Ori. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Let's see what Spirit has for us, talking about nurturing our Ori. Let's see what message Spirit has for us this week. If you're feeling blessed this morning, you're always lovingly invited to participate in the ministry of giving. Thank you so much, Jay Barnes, for getting the giving started this morning. You can do that right here on YouTube. You can also do so via Cashapp, $ Iya Funlayo, Venmo at Ashe Ire, and using Funlayo at AsheIre.com for PayPal and Zelle. We are grateful for each and every gift. We're grateful to all of those who made offerings yesterday, and we are immensely grateful. And as you know, I tell you every time, your money is not the most valuable thing you have by far. It is your tea, your time, your energy, and your attention. So please only spend those in places and with people who remind you of your worth, who treat you in the ways that you deserve to be treated, and who know that your value extends beyond what you're able to do for them. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Olodumare ancestors, Orisha, all divine beings, what is our message for the family this week? I'm still with my sister Priestess Sharifa's Troxaki Congo deck. Shout out to her. Still a few of these available in the shop as well. What is our message for the week? They want a little extra shuffle. Like we're gonna make it extra juicy, extra good. Let's see. Passing is our message for the week. Let's see what passing has to say to us this week. As you mature in life, you can expect to outgrow ideologies, professions, and relationships. Come on, somebody. What was we just? I'm dropping the mic. That's it. I ain't dropping this mic but I'm gonna drop some mic because they coming right with it. Spaces in which you once felt connected to spaces which you once felt connected to and a part of may no longer service you or your higher purpose. You will need to leave behind ideas, behaviors, places, and sometimes people so that you can blossom. Trust the process, even when it's difficult to do so. As the caterpillar cocoons, she cannot conceive of the butterfly wings that are to come. Yet she knows that her time as a caterpillar is passing and surrenders faithfully. Ooh, come on. If this ain't a word going along with the word of the word of the word, we got to know, right, when things have run their course. We got to know when something is no longer for us. We have to know when we are holding ourselves hostage to something that is no longer serving us. We have to know when to retreat, right? What was we just talking about? Ogun, give thanks. We got to know when to retreat. Oh, I did she not notice this talking to you today? We got to know when to retreat, right? When a space is no longer our space. Blessings. Oh, yeah. Good to see you this morning. Okay, all right. The message is snatching edges this morning. Give thanks, right? We like our edges snatched so that we can smooth them back, right? And walk in a good way. So yeah, we got to know when to retreat. Ogun teaches us when to retreat, when things have run their course, when to take that machete and cut it off, right? When to take that hammer and bend it into a new shape. When to take that pickaxe and break it down into smaller pieces, right? When to perform alchemy, when things need to be shifted. Holding on to things past their prime and past their time is how they get ruined. It's like a tree. The fruit of a tree has to come off when it gets to a level of ripeness, because if it doesn't, it spoils. And so there's a place where we have to recognize very much when things have done what they needed to do for us and get ready to move on. Some deeper meanings here. You are your only competition. Strive to be a better you today than you were yesterday. Things around you may be moving quickly. Be perceptive and pay attention. Be careful with your words. You may be saying one thing and those listening may be hearing another. So a couple of things for us to keep in mind as we go into this week. Couple of questions. How can you love from a distance? Wait a minute. Come on, spirit. We just talked about this. Retreating, loving from a distance. Ogun said, I'm going to love y'all from a distance. I'm going to lead an iron, but I'm going to go over here and love y'all from a distance. How can we love from a distance those things we have outgrown? It doesn't say we got to start hating them, right? It doesn't say we got to talk bad about them. It doesn't say we have to do any of that. How do we love them from a distance, though? How do we recognize that they don't need to be right up in our area? And how are we mindful of not burning bridges that we have crossed, right? Again, just because we have outgrown something doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Doesn't mean that it's something to be disparaged. Doesn't mean that it's something to be put down. Doesn't mean that the bridge needs to be burned. It just may mean that you don't need to be running back and forth across it every day, but you might need to cross it one more time, right? So be mindful of not burning bridges. Really, really important. So we taking these lessons into the week. Passing, give thanks for the message from passing. Let's see what our crystal ally is going to be for the week as we help ourselves to let go of the things that need to be let go. Spirit, what is our crystal ally for the week? This is the Crystal Spirit Oracle by Colette Baron Reed that I'm using for us. You know, I like to cite my sources. Azurine. So this is actually a less known, a less talked about crystal here. Azurine, a blue chumpy, working with our upper chakras, clearing out that throat, clearing out the things that need, making room for the things that need to be said. Integrity, solidarity, impeccability, reliability. It says, although we are always evolving, we all possess deeply held values that we do not have to compromise. Do not have to compromise. All right, Natasha, you're getting it twice. Do not have to compromise. Your personal integrity matters. So even if you're feeling pressured to say yes when your heart says no, or to be something you're not, listen to the message Azurine Spirit brings you. Now is a time to remember the importance of being reliable and impeccable with your word. If you really want to say no, listen to this. If you really want to say no, don't say yes for now and then try to take it back later. If you really want to say no, don't say yes for now and then try to take it back later. People may struggle to accept your truth and your decisions, but stick to them. Be solid and consistent, because what matters to you deep down matters to the universe who loves you. If you are feeling unsure, doubting whether you have a right to take a stand, get still and connect with the universe through this crystal. It's not your job. It is not your job to protect everyone's feelings and keep the peace at all costs. You don't have to rush to smooth everything over. Be at peace as you stand firm, for your deepest values are in sync with your purpose. Listen, if this don't resonate, I don't even know what to tell you, right? Because it goes right along with our lesson. Don't say yes if you really want to say no. And understand that when you betray yourself, you become untrustworthy to others. Because if you can't trust you to say yes when you really mean yes and no when you really mean no, then how can anybody else trust you to say what you mean and mean what you say? How can anyone else trust you to say what you mean and mean what you say if you're not being true to yourself? If you say yes now and then the person can sense something I can't stand, is if I ask for something and someone tells me yes and then I could tell they have an attitude. Why'd you say yes then? If you didn't really want to do it, you should have just told me you couldn't do it, right? Or say yes and then make an excuse. Come on, somebody. I know none of us do this. Come on, somebody. I know none of us do this. But say yes and then make an excuse later about why you can't do it. And so let us pull in the spirit and energy of this crystal. Thank you, Chris, our resident crystal expert, for the information, right? Pull in the energy of this crystal. Stand on business this week. That's one thing we ain't got to worry about Ogun for. He's staying on business. He's like, oh, I'm out, right? I'm cutting it down. I'm doing what I'm doing me at all, regardless. I'm getting mine regardless. Look, bringing the last one back. Really, really important. Really, really, really important. Really, really, really important. To just say no if it's no, and know that it's okay. And if anybody gets upset by you saying no, later for them, right? But don't betray yourself, right? Don't betray yourself. Oh Lord, listen, honey, or if you want me to, if I ask, then I want you to. So either you won't do it or you not. Like, just keep it real. That's one reason too why people think and often will say that New Yorkers are rude, right? And you know that's one of my pet peeves, because we are absolutely not rude. What we are is straightforward. We got things to do. We got subways to catch. We got streets to cross. We don't have time to go back and forth. You with it or not? You doing it or not? Yes or no? Boop, boop, boop. That's it. Right? I mean, we ain't got time to, if you want to, I guess, if you want it. No, it's like, time is money. We doing this or we not. You buying it or you not. I'm moving on to the next one. If not, like, just let me know what you doing. You coming in, I'm gonna hold the door for you, but you coming through or not. Don't stand there double dutching it, right? You gotta know, decisive. That's one of the energies that the city gives many of us, is the directness, right? Because we ain't got time to wait for stuff. We gotta be clear about what we doing. Car is coming. Am I crossing the street or not? I ain't got time to be in the middle of the street like this, right? No, I'm crossing. Boom, bow, I'm across, right? You got to do things decisively, be direct, use that energy. So I want everybody to channel their inner New Yorker this week, right? And be direct. Just say yes or say no when it is yes or when it is no. King Temperance said, I'm finally getting out of thinking that self-betrayal is love. So this is some good affirmation. Thank you all. Oh, blessings, King. Please get out of that. And so many of us do believe that. We believe that by putting another person's will or well-being above our own, that's how we show love. It's not. It's how we betray ourselves. And ultimately, I'm gonna tell you, it undermines the love that we have for others when we betray ourselves. Why? Because now we're holding them hostage in our spirit. Now we're feeling resentful towards them because we're doing things for them that we didn't really want to do. Now we're like, well, damn, why they got to keep asking me for stuff? Why they got to keep, right? And we have these negative feelings toward them, and they're like, thinking, right? Thinking that we're happily doing whatever it is that we're doing for them. And little do they know, right, that resentment is growing inside of our heart day by day because we're betraying ourselves. Because we're doing things and we didn't have the strength to embody that Ogun energy and go ahead and retreat and go ahead and, similarly, if you're not feeling good, you're in a bad mood, whatever the case may be, go on to your room. You know what I'm saying? Retreat. You ain't got to stay around and be giving everybody else attitude. Go on and lay down somewhere and relax and know that that's okay. Like, don't think that your presence, well, I got to be here. No, you don't have to be here. You could be chilling somewhere. All right. So passing, Azurine, we're taking both of these lessons this week. We're letting things die when they need to die. We are speaking up for what we really want and desire, saying no when we really want to say no, leaving them emails on red. Listen, they gonna wait. That's one. Ooh, I'll do that in a heartbeat. Listen, just because we have these devices in our pockets 24 hours a day does not mean that people have to have 24-hour access to you. You don't have to respond to their message in 2.5 seconds just because they see that you read it. Okay, you see that I read it and I will get back to you. Okay? Like, it's all right. You know what I mean? Protect your peace, protect your boundaries. Ogun's going to help us do that this week. Family, you know that I love you. Ooh, I love this, Adeshina. I commit to show up for myself every day from this moment forward. I love that as an affirmation. I invite everybody to share that affirmation. I commit to show up for myself every day. I love that. And I love y'all. You know what I want you to do now? I want you to go have a fantastic week. I want you to take these lessons into the week with you. I want you to feel strong. I want you to feel committed. I want you to protect your peace. I want you to channel your inner Harlemite. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. Keep it 100 this week, especially with yourself. And I just want you to be great as always. Be great as always. We are going to have a beautiful week. I love you. I send you blessings to everywhere that you are. Make sure that you visit the website, asheire.com. If you're new here, connect with us. Join the mailing list so you'll be connected to all the good things that we're doing. Remember too, I'll be in Philly on October the 16th. So watch your inbox for information about that. And also save the date. It seems far, but I'm telling you, it's going to be like tomorrow. It's already November. December 20th, we will be together all day for the Black Spirit Solstice Summit. We are looking forward to that. It is always a high and grand time. So make sure that you connect with us for that. And be well this week, family. Odabo. Hey, we ready? Hi, we ready? Yes, we ready. Peace, fam. Odabo. Have a great week.